I am not here for your entertainment.
Yo, what up, cuzzy wuzzies? What up, YouTube? I wanted to record this video because this tech is absolutely fucking cracked on martial artists right now, especially when it comes to hollow form. So let me just quickly go through it and kind of explain my thought process, right? I was running hollow form and whirling assault up until today. Pure fizz / bleed setup. It was working phenomenally well. I would run my whirling assault myself to generate combo points to then put down Tempest Bell. And then as soon as, and also we were running hollow focus for extra bells around us. And then as soon as you channel hollow form, you know, everything kind of dies and has a lot of bleed applications on it and blah, 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 because hollow form is just a broken heal right now. It's just so good for anything. It just works, especially for whirling assault. Now, we're running with Luctonius Caress for that automatic power charge generation, which is what makes this setup really powerful, because we're always at, you know, our empowered version of hollow form. But I kind of was thinking, how do I perhaps... I dropped Splinter of Lorata. And if you know me, I love my poison builds. I'm kind of always looking for ways to introduce poison into my setups. And I was thinking, okay, how do I incorporate this into what we're doing? How do I incorporate poison in general into what we're doing? Do I swap out of bleed and go to poison? Because maybe poison will be able to stack poisons better with this hollow form, because we, you know, attack a lot of times really quickly. But then I thought, wait a minute, there is a support called Aracali's Lust, which says it deals 8% more damage, not increased, more damage with hits for each poison on the enemy, up to 40%. So technically, up 40% more damage. That's insane, right? How do we get to that? So that means I need at least 5 poisons on a target to deal that 40% more damage. How do I put that many poisons on a target if I'm not a Pathfinder? We have kind of one way of doing this to get to 5 stacks, right? We have 1 poison by default. We can do 2 more if we spec on them, if we spec into them on the passive tree, then we can run unique gloves called snake bites. They give you another +1 to poison, and we can have a poison support gem that that is called, if I bring it up here, it is called escalating poisons. So that's our 5th stack, right? However, on this build, I am not spec'd into poison at all because we are a monk. We're starting here. Poison stuff is too kind of a little bit too far from us. One node for +1 is right here. Another one would be here. So because we're scaling fizz, damage, power charges, and crit on this build, there's no room for us to go for poison. So that's -2 already. So we cannot get 5. Obviously, because my setup is fizz and bleed, I'm not running any poison supports. We're not poisoning enemies, so the poison support goes away as well. We don't need that. Because this is a mandatory unique for us, we cannot swap out the gloves. We're losing the +1 from gloves as well. So we're kind of left with just that default poison that everybody gets. But we have Splinters of Lorada, which breaks all of those rules, as we know, and it allows us to automatically apply infinite number of poisons on the target, regardless of anything else, right? We don't need to scale numbers of poisons at all. We can just use that weapon for that, and we can, you know, stack 5, 10, 20, 50, however many. And with that, we get obviously always poisons on hit with this weapon, so we don't need to scale into poison chance either. Which means for this to proc or to get to 40%, which is the max damage on this support, we only need to stack 5 poisons, which is incredibly easy if we're using Spearfield, because Spearfield by itself creates a lot of spikes in the ground, and each spike is a hit, and with each hit we have a chance to apply multiple poison stacks. So this allows us to apply tons of stacks really quickly, especially on a big target like a boss, and all of a sudden we have 40% more damage on our holoform. So all we have to do is go to a boss, spam our Spearfield a couple of times, and then just cast that. And if we have power charges at that point, boss just gets deleted, because all of a sudden we have 40% more damage on that target. It's an incredible tech. Now, the only problem you can run into with this is poison duration, because we don't have any duration on the tree. So it doesn't matter how many stacks you can get on your target. If you don't have duration, they just fall off really quickly, and that becomes a problem. So for example, if you do, I've ran into this problem on a couple of bosses where this does take a couple of seconds to do. So if in that time boss manages to stun you or freeze you or do something to you, you apply those stacks, but while you're frozen, you cannot do any damage, and those stacks kind of start falling off of the, if you don't have duration, they just start falling off while you're frozen, and then you have to reapply the poison again once you're out of the frozen state or stun state or whatever it is. You don't want to be CC'd, basically. But because we're doing a weapon swap mechanic, right? Obviously, we have our holoform on our quarterstaff on weapon slot 1, and then we have Lorada's on weapon swap 2, which means we can reconfigure our tree. So for weapon swap 2, when we're on Loradas, we can just, and it's good because we're right here on the tree anyway, we can quickly just take a couple of these nodes right here. But what's most important, I mean, yes, it's going to be nice to have immune to poison because we have easy access to it now. But this is the kind of the biggest MVP of this setup, right? Because escalating toxins gives you 100% increased poison duration. And again, it's 10% increased poison duration per each poison of maximum of 100%, which means you need to get 10 stacks of poison to get this 100%. And with Loretta's, it's incredibly easy. So this tech, I don't know, maybe it's already known, but I haven't seen any of it used in combination with, you know, martial artist and hollow form and you know, whirling assault on hollow form. I haven't seen this combination yet, so I kind of wanted to make a video about it. This is something that I randomly kind of just like, it dawned on me earlier today while I was at work. I came home, immediately started like experimenting with it, put together Arcali's Lust with Splinters of Lorada, and it immediately just started working. But then as soon as I thought, okay, we kind of need to fix our duration, and we took escalating toxins here, it absolutely just knocked it out of the park. Like, it just made the build a whole, basically. You don't have to have bleed, you don't have to have fizz damage. You can use hollow form with whirling assault as an elemental setup as well. All this does is it gives you 40% more damage. Poison here is not a damaging part of the equation. It's a trigger to give you more damage, right? So that's all it is. I just wanted to make a quick video about this, and I hope, you know, maybe someone picks it up and makes this setup even better. I'm by no means a like an experienced build maker in the scene. I'm just a casual gamer. I'm just a casual PoE streamer. So, hey, this is just something that I kind of thought about, quickly put it together today, and I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to bring it to the masses. Hopefully this doesn't get it nerfed, but hey, if you want to use it, use it. Fucking go wild, create crazy stuff with the setup. I can't wait for people to say how a dog shed this is in the comment section, but it is what it is.